Welcome back to the Flower Garden. My name is Lisa, and today I wanted to do something different and actually do a reaction video. So on my Instagram, I asked you guys what you wanted me to react to, and somebody said I should react to Doughty. I asked for a specific video. You didn't give me a specific video. So I went down a mini rabbit hole of figuring out what Aaron's most popular video was. And it's a video called 3 Things You Agreed to Before You Were Born, parentheses, you forgot these. So I've done kind of a similar video, so I'm really interested to see what he says. I'm going to react to it and kind of give my feedback, so hopefully you enjoy this. Let me know in the comments if you did enjoy it. If you didn't enjoy it, then I'll never do it again. Okay, let's get into it.
I'm going to share with you these concepts that you can remember so that you can literally start to remember yourself.
I wonder if he still has those paintings.
Prefer to be.
Ooh.
Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron.
That was really cool.
I help people expand their confidence.
Oh man.
Now, in this video, we're going to
these graphics from like 2017.
3 things you agreed to before you
love
came
it though.
into this life.
He's promoting
that will
himself.
help you understand more about how. Now, maybe as a baby, we kind of remember that, but as we are conditioned growing up, that's something that many times we become more and more separated from. Then what we might do is from that separation, we might find ways of...
So, I want to add that, so he said when we're babies, we maybe remember it a little bit. So if you have read Journey of Souls or follow any of Dolores Cannon's work, specifically Michael Newton in Journey of Souls talks about how our souls actually leave our body up until the age of 5. Okay, so in the womb, our souls are constantly leaving the body and then also leave the body fairly often when we're children up until the age of like 5 or 6, because during that time, kids, they, depending on what they're doing, like it's easy to kind of just check out, go do something else. And if you want to know more about that, then you can go check out Journey of Souls by Michael Newton, which is my favorite book. And I also have a video about it, which I will place somewhere up here, and you'll be able to click and check it out. And that video is actually called 7 Truths About Your Soul, and it's about the teachings in that book. So anyway, I just wanted to add that yes, like we remember who we are up until a certain point, our soul actually leaves our body, but then, you know, we forget, just like Aaron said.
That sometimes that emotion, that negative emotion that we feel growing up, is that gap that we feel from who we really naturally are. And there's a couple purposes of this. The first purpose is that
that's interesting.
In order for us to really have an experience that we can learn from, we have to forget who we are. It's the idea that you're playing a video game.
It's
and
true.
If you were to know
we're all
that
here
you're
to
just
learn.
playing a video game, you know, you might not take it serious, you might not really relate to it, but if when you're playing the video game you actually believe that that is who you are, then what happens is it's a very different experience. You actually relate to it. You actually learn from a deep level of experience. Now that's one of the purposes of that agreement that you made. That first off, or second off, you are an immortal spiritual being having a temporary human experience. And when you come here and you are conditioned growing up, you forget that that is who you are. But I believe that we choose our parents when we come into life. I believe that from a higher level perspective.
Actually, we do choose everyone in our lives before we're born. Okay, so not everyone, but we do choose like the stronger relationships that we have. So our parents, we do choose our parents. We usually like strong relationships that you have, like romantic relationships, friendships. If you feel like someone is like your soulmate, like, oh, like we have this really strong bond. I know for a fact that I have an old best friend that I know for sure is one of my soulmates. You know, I have an ex-boyfriend that I'm like, I know for sure that we were soulmates. So we do choose people before we're born because that other soul, that other person also has soul contracts to fulfill, right? So they have something. So you make a deal before, you know, you incarnate on this planet, before you both incarnate on this planet, like, hey, you know, I'm going to do this for you. You're going to do this for me, right? And you have that soul contract. So he's absolutely right there.
There are certain themes that we have in our life that we are meant to experience. And that from those themes, there are certain
exactly what I
things
just said,
that we can learn. So with that, it's almost like our purpose of our life is to start to remember this about ourselves. Start to remember that we logged into this game of life in
Agree
a
and
metaphorical
disagree.
type way, so that we could become more aware of who we really are, and that we can really remember who we prefer to be.
I like this.
So much easier because
Remember.
we don't start to really
What
our
are
life
you
that we don't
doing?
prefer as much, and
I love
see
it. I
that
love
may
it.
have happened for a reason.
He's articulate.
Maybe some of the things, you know, a lot
Very
of people that
calm,
come
like very
through
calming
and
energy. I know Aaron, but I just
spiritual
know like the
awakening. I've been through
Energizer
a
Bunny
lot of
version of
pain
Aaron, and I
early
haven't
on in
watched
life.
his
I
older
know I went
videos,
through
so
a
this
lot
is
of
really
pain
interesting
growing up,
because
just from
I just
especially,
like
in my
think of
teens
him as
before
this
I
like,
was, like, an adult.
and
That
he's
period of
not
time for me was
right
pivotal
now.
because it caused so much pain within me.
But you know what's funny is like I talk about this all the time with, or recently I've been talking about this with friends, how in my YouTube videos, there's this like version of me. Like if you've only watched my YouTube videos, you just like see this like fraction of who I am, which is this person who teaches, right? And like here to bring concepts to you. And you don't see other parts of me where like I just, you know, joke around with my friends and just like me being an idiot, my back hurting and me constantly like massaging my back, burping really loudly. Like you don't see those things about me, you know? So it's like really weird because I feel like people get this like perception of a person, and I guess that's when like, you know, you meet that person, you're like, oh, they're nothing like I thought they would be, and it's because you've literally only seen like a fraction of who they are. So I don't know, that just came to mind.
Gave me the pressure for me to then go within and learn more about why things happen in my life. And the more I connected to it, the more I realized that that was something that I actually agreed to at a higher level, because it allowed me to get to a place of awakening. So what you can begin to do,
I
is
see
start to
that.
see
He
certain
said
things
he
in your
meditated
life
for
in
like
way
a
as
year and just like
guiding
was a
mechanisms
hermit.
that have
So
allowed you to become
I can
the
see
type of
that.
person that you are. Maybe
Coming
you
to that
become stronger
realization.
from certain things that have happened.
Oh, everything I
Maybe you become
experienced
more
happened
definite
for a
on who you
reason.
really prefer to be by seeing things of how you don't prefer to be. Now these are just examples, but the idea
I miss
is
that.
we agreed to, before coming into this life, we agreed to certain aspects of forgetting who we are, so that we could go through the process of remembering these parts of ourselves, so that we could remember that in a way we
Agree and
logged into
disagree
this
again.
game, and that we
I don't
could
know if
have
that's
more fun
everyone's
with it.
purpose
You
to
know, I like
remember
the
who they
analogy
are.
that life is kind of like a game, because when you have that, it's a much more fun process. It doesn't have to be this very serious thing, and the ego's afraid
true.
of dying and all
We
these
take things way too
At a fundamental
seriously.
core level, you will never really die. The ego may transcend itself, or you may go on to a different form, but the idea is that you are an immortal spiritual being having a temporary human experience. That's why awareness is such a powerful thing. Now, the second thing
Agree.
that we agreed to when we came into this life,
Wait,
is that
didn't we just do
meaning
number 2?
is something we give to everything in our life
How many
experience.
points
Now,
are
this
there,
is a
Aaron?
beautiful thing.
I'm confused. Is this number 3?
With this,
This is number 2.
Realize how much power that they have over what they experience in their life, because they choose how they relate to the outer circumstances. We choose what that barrier is. Now, understand that anything you experience in your life is fundamentally neutral. It is only positive or negative if we decide
That's
that
true.
it is, or if we decide that it isn't. It depends on the
Everything
meaning you give
is
it. Now,
what
the way I see
the meaning you give
positive
it,
and
right?
negative
That's
is a
exactly
little
what
bit
you just
different
said.
than the conditioned way that we were
Yeah.
meant to think about it. Positive, I mean in the sense of positive is anything that is integrative, anything that connects us back to our spirit, or connects us
I
back
like
to
that he's
truth.
making this
Anything
distinction
that is
because
very
we
connective
often
is positive. Negative is
think
anything
that there's
is
only positive and
separated, anything
negative.
that separates us from other people. Sometimes
But
we
it's
put
not.
labels on ourselves, and we start to really emphasize the difference.
Exactly.
and
It's the
between
label
us
you
and
give
other
it.
people. That might create separation. That might create some type of negative experience, because in essence we are all connected. And I simply just decided that I was going to give it a positive
That's
meaning,
right.
and because I did that, positive effects came out of it.
I love that. So I was just talking to a client about this. Okay, so he was telling me, my client was telling me about how he had just had a call, and during the call he felt like crap, like this is such a bad conversation, like I messed up this conversation. And then after the call he went back and watched it one time, and then he was like, yeah, I totally butchered that. And then after that he like let it sit for a couple of days, and then he went back and watched it again. He was like, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. He watched it again and he was like, it really wasn't that bad. And like, it was the same recording of the same conversation, right? So like nothing changed, but what changed was his perception of it, right? And so something that I gave him to do was like, I want you to start looking at stories from your past, from your childhood, right? Like victim mentalities that you have about your childhood, and to start rewriting them, right? To start giving them a new meaning from the meaning that you had before, which is that, oh, I was whatever, I was a victim, right? And you just decide, no, this helped me grow, right? This was a stepping stone in my growth. This was a stepping stone in who I had to become, right? So you reframe that. At any point, you can do that. And the reason that you can do that and it actually works, it's not like a mind trick. It's because time and space literally doesn't exist. Everything is happening in the now, okay? So when you decide, I'm going to change the story from 5 years ago, from 15 years ago, right? You're literally changing it in this present moment because literally everything is happening in this present moment. And I had a video talking about this, I believe, last video or 2 videos ago. So you can go check that out. It's about our multidimensionality. It kind of touches on that. So if you want to learn more about how like everything is happening in the now, then you can check that out. Back to the video.
Like as I give something positive meaning, I line up life tracks of things that are positive that could happen, but the same type of time there are potentials of the negative side of things that could happen if I identified with that. You see, it's a matter of perspective, and when we change our perspective,
sometimes he just says these like weird,
more
and I'm just like,
process,
what is?
My
My favorite was this.
That's when things really begin to transform. You give the meanings as to things in your life. That's something I believe that you agree to, and that's from true. That you're able to really gain your power back because you can decide where you want to go.
You can decide
from here.
Very true, Aaron.
Now the third thing.
What happened? What was he staring at? He said, what was I going to say?
Oh, wait. Life in general. Now, the goal could be to find
more
about who we are. Our goal could be to, become more awake to who we are, to become more aware of purposes of who we are. But I believe that the main one out of all 3 of those is to become awake to who we are really meant to be, to wake up from this dream of life.
Agree and disagree. This is the 3rd time I've said this. Okay, so agree and disagree. And the reason is because, yes, like I agree, we're all here to wake up, blah, blah, blah. But I also think that, and I had a friend who would argue with me about this, and he was like, no, that's wrong. You're, by saying that not everyone's purpose is to wake up, you're saying that they don't have the potential to wake up. I'm like, no, we all have the potential to wake up. I'm just saying that some people, like, everyone's soul is at a different level, so you're learning different things as you're progressing. And this is something, again, it's in the journey of souls. So some people, like very young souls, it may be that in their contract, this life path that they chose, right, the lessons that they wanted to learn, waking up to who they are may not be on the agenda. So that's all I'm saying. That doesn't mean they don't have the potential to do it. Obviously, we have free will, right? We can do whatever the heck we want on this planet, on this earth. But I think that some people, like, their primary goals are not that, okay? However, when I think to Eckhart Tolle, okay, and it's either A New Earth or The Power of Now. Same freaking material, different books. But, he talks about how your inner purpose, it's at the end of A New Earth, okay? So your inner purpose is to be present, okay? It's to be in the now. And what is being present? Being present is being conscious of the fact that you have an ego and you're not your ego, right? So agree and disagree in a way, but it's okay. It's whatever.
Beings have temporary human experiences, and that as we become more aware of this whole process, we start to unlock ourselves out of what we could call the matrix. That's just an analogy, but it's an analogy that I think
I love the way he uses his hands. It's so like
the idea is that as we become more aware of who we are, as we become more aware that our beliefs are creating our reality, as we become more aware that we can consciously decide our reality from the power of intention and the power of choice, that's where things really begin to change. I believe that there are also certain themes that people agree to. Now, we have free will.
Yes.
I do believe that we have free will.
In your soul contract.
We
do.
How things
I love how much we agree, Aaron! Oh.
Is that before we
can't wait until we're BFFs. It's gonna happen.
That we said we're gonna walk
Keeping
down.
An eye on
Maybe
you.
it's the hallway of self-discovery.
Keeping an eye on you.
Sharing a message with people. That's my purpose. My purpose in life, I believe, is to travel around the world, to share these ideas with people, to become like a public speaker and somebody that is
can't
like a
travel
teacher
right now,
in
can
my
you, bud?
field of what I love to talk about. That's something that I believe is my purpose. That is a hallway. Now, how I walk
That's your
down
outer
hallway
purpose,
is my free
Aaron.
will.
Eckhart
I can
Tolle,
do it
let's
by
go.
making videos. I could do it by just expressing myself via vlogs, or blogs, like
I think that's what he's talking about. I'm just shitting on him for no reason. Like, no, this is how you say it. Like, no, he's saying the same thing.
Whatever it is, I had that ability to choose what that is, but I believe that
outer
at a deeper
purpose,
level, I
inner
chose
purpose.
to become a speaker. I've always loved speaking. I've always loved sharing ideas in this way, and because I've always loved that, I think that that's part of the hallway that I chose to walk down. You may, and some people have certain hallways they choose to walk down that are very much more general. Some people's life purpose might be to become a mother, to become somebody that's very nurturing to her children. That could be someone's life purpose. They might have other purposes with that.
You know what? He might be saying this in a second, but another thing is I was reading a book called Healing with Your Angels. It's by Doreen Virtue, who has apparently gone crazy. I have conspiracy theories about what happened with her, but that doesn't matter. Right now, if you want me to make a video about it, I'll talk about what I think. I'm kind of crazy. But anyway, so she talks about this one example where a client came to her. So she does angel readings. So she'll speak to the client's angels and like find out what they, need to know. And so she did an angel reading, and this woman came and she was like, I really want to help more people. I want to be more useful on this planet. And basically what her angels told her was just, your purpose is to bring up the vibration of the planet by simply being you, by being you and doing the things that you want to do. And this woman really loved gardening. So Doreen Virtue told her, like, hey, keep gardening, keep doing that. There's nothing that you need to do, quote unquote, other than just be yourself in order to fulfill your mission of helping others, because your energy in and of itself is heightening the energy of the collective, okay? It's actually bringing light to the collective. And she was saying, just you being you and being around other people brightens their day. And then the other tip that she gave her was, because you have this like high energy and you have this high frequency, you could start going to, like nursing homes more, things like that, and just be there with them. Like, you don't need to say anything specifically, but just your physical presence there is going to be enough. So, like Aaron said, some people's purposes are very general. It can just be something like that. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going to go and teach all of the secrets of the world to people on stages around the world. Like, that's great. That's awesome. But sometimes we just put too much pressure on ourselves, and I don't think that you need to. I think like as long as you're enjoying your life, you're fine, and you like what you're doing.
Hallway we walk down, but the idea is that we chose to walk down this hallway, but how we choose to walk down this hallway is up to us. We could run, we could skip, we could jump rope, we could do whatever we want down this hallway. That's our free will, but go down this hallway.
He's trampolining down the hallway.
I believe that also our emotions are
yes.
That hallway in a way. So I feel excitement
on his little
when
trampoline.
I'm creating videos. I feel excitement when I'm speaking in front of people and I'm doing workshops. I feel excitement when I do that. That's where I think the power is in knowing that we created certain themes before we came into life, that our experience of life and purpose of life is to wake up to who we already are, to wake up and
agree,
remember
disagree.
Through the power of the awareness. And as we
agree and disagree,
everything begins to change. And that's why I created a free MP3 guided meditation that you can listen to every single day that will help you reprogram yourself to see yourself in a completely new way. So you change your self-image and you start to really get what you want in your life. That's something that you can download in the description box for free. It's something that can completely
y'all go download it.
Yourself. And it's something that I created.
You better.
I just wanted to add that much value to you in that way. So with that being said, remember
the
3 things that you remembered to before you came into this life. The first one was that you're an immortal spiritual being having a temporary human experience.
Good job, Aaron. Giving a little summary at the end.
That the game is real.
A1 teaching.
All meaning in life is fundamentally neutral. We give the meanings as
I need to do that. I'm going to start doing that. Stealing that.
We then experience either the positive effect, the integrative effect.
I sometimes do it.
Experience the
not all the
negative
time.
effect, the separative effect. It's all up to what we perceive, and it's all up to what we
That's imply. A good thumbnail.
That thirdly, there's a certain hallway that we agreed to go down, that what we can do is begin to align with that.
I'm always struggling to find thumbnails.
What that is, to understand
I just need to start doing what Aaron does.
With this whole process, the most important thing is the awareness we have for who we are as we become aware everything begins to change. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Also hit that little notification gear.
Doesn't somebody else say that?
The daily videos that I do.
Like this video if you liked it.
Actually have to hit that
if you like
to
it.
receive
Doughty
daily
says that.
videos. And other than that,
Doughty.
I'll see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste.
Namaste. Peace, much love, and namaste. Okay, good. And he's a great teacher. You know, he's awesome. And I appreciate how articulate he is. Obviously, I enjoyed all the gestures. Gonna be using those. But yeah, well, I hope that you guys enjoyed this reaction video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more reaction videos, if this was valuable, because, you know, this is easy for me. All I have to do is just watch it and talk. But if you guys want to see anything specific, if you want me to react to another Aaron video, if you want me to react to someone else's channel, let me know and I will do it. But otherwise, I love you guys. Check out these videos if you want to learn more about esoteric spiritual topics, if you want to learn about manifestation, if you want to learn about keeping your mindset positive, then these are going to be here for you. And otherwise, I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome day, an awesome week. Bye.